V'hinei lahavim b'tosefes biur inyan va'eres ha'aretz chulo. Now to understand with extra explanation the idea of, let me see the land, u'mashakasuv achar kach v'ata Yisrael shma chulo. And this that he says afterwards, now Israel, listen to do the chukim yishlahaktim lahavin shoresh inyan ri'iyah v'shmiya ba'avodas havaya. We need to preface to understand first the root of the concept of seeing and hearing in the service of Hashem. And that their root is in wisdom and understanding, as is known. That Chachma is the concept of sight, K'mayim Razal. Like the statement of our sages, Ezehu Chacham Haroes Hanolad, that who is wise, he who sees what will be born. Uksiv HaChacham Einav B'rosho. And it's written, the wise man, his eyes are in his head. And that's why the sages are called the eyes of the congregation. Vishmiyahu bina, and listening is bina, understanding. Kishmiyahu inyan havana, because listening is because to listen is the concept of to understand. Listen to this. Vihine tzarich lahavi. Now we need to understand the idua shachach muhulamayla mehabina, that it's known that chachma is higher than bina. Harianu roim shashmiya yoser daka b'mehusa min hariyah, and we see that vision. Now we see that hearing is more ethereal in its essence than sight. Shari hashmiya peulas lishmo lahazina kolos v'adiburim, because listening, its effect is to hear voices and speech. Shehim ruchnim, that those are more spiritual than the physicality of this world. Ein lehem chomer gashmi, and they don't have a coarseness of physicality. Peri'iyah, and when you see something, pa'ula gashmius, it's a physical. It's like you see. It's like more physical. It's more of a physical act. To gaze and look at physical things specifically. Which is not the case with more spiritual things. Voice and speech. You can't grasp them through sight. That at first glance, the reason for this is that hearing is more ethereal than vision, than sight. And therefore it grasps more spiritual things. Lomar, but we need to understand this. Because vision is higher than listening. That comes from chachma, vashmiya bina, but listening comes from bina kana, like we said. And further, that we see a great thing in vision, that's higher than listening, than hearing. Then that's the concept of the arousal that comes from it, that listening cannot be compared to seeing something at all. That the arousal of the soul from seeing something, that it gets aroused from, is much greater, that it comes from seeing that thing. Because when you imagine in your intellect and you contemplate on something, davar nechmad, and some pleasant thing, you won't be aroused as much. And how much more so if you just hear it without contemplation. But when you see it with your eye, you'll be aroused more. Im kain yesh lomar or yesh lahavin ma'achar shayispailus imatza min ha'riyah yos min hashmiya. Since this arousal you'll find in vision more than hearing, v'zeh mipnei she'hariyah gavoy yoser kanal. And that's because vision is higher, like we said, im kain lama b'muhusa mashmiya daka yoser. Why in their essence is hearing a more ethereal kind of thing. Litvos dvarim ruchanim, to grasp spiritual things, of like voice. Mash enkin b'di'ah, which is not the case with vision. Acha'in, but the concept is who the ha'inyan who the he hanosenes, but that's for that very reason. Because the ability to see comes from the chachma of the soul. That chachma is higher than bina. From which comes the ability to hear. It's higher than bina. That hearing comes from bina. And it's known the general rule to call that anything that's higher can bring itself down lower. For example, somebody who's a wiser person than his friend, he can bring himself down lower, to find ways to give a flow of his wisdom to his student, like Rabbi Meir, that he said 300 allegories. And so too through the great level of chachma, so too with the great ability of wisdom in your soul. Therefore you can come down and give this flow further below, lower than the flow that comes from bina. And that's that this ability of sight can come down and give flow and be drawn down to grasp physical things. Which is not the case with hearing. That seeing, you see physical things specifically because it's coming from a higher place. And that's why your hearing will grasp more spiritual things. And through your sight you'll grasp the physical things. But nonetheless, the arousal in the soul will be much higher from when you see things. Because that level comes from wisdom of chachma. And that is because when you see something, you're grasping its essence. And that's the level of chachma. But listening is only grasping its existence. That's the concept of bina. Like it's explained in another place. Ubinahu. That's why chachma is called you directly, and bina is called him. But only that the physical man cannot grasp the essence. Can only grasp the essence of physical things. Which is not the case with spiritually. Spiritually, you can only grasp the existence of the spiritual.